Thanks for staying with us. I'd like to have callers to call in. Please call in to share more of your experiences. 020-1635-2013, 090-241-63440. Please send us messages on X and also YouTube. We're happy to read your message. Do you have any messages?
Yeah, I was going to say, you know, this one I'm going to call government workers out. Government workers that go to work when they feel
you don't do that anymore, please.
No.
Please stay, we're going to defend them.
It's time.
You are shaking. You are shaking.
Yeah.
So the time they are supposed to resume, they resume hours later. And then they're there for only a few hours.
Disappear.
And while they're at work, God help you if you need something, and they're not in the mood for you, you will not get what you are. They don't get work done, and they can be upset with you for daring to come and disturb their peace.
Let me pause
That's
you.
why they are there.
Let me pause you for a second. I have Alfonso's back. Alfonso, thanks for calling.
Good morning.
Good morning. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. So talking about culture. Culture is our culture is very necessary. It's very important to us. Do you understand? In whatever we do, because we are not Westerners, we are Nigerians, and so our culture is so important. But what I don't like is the unfairness during work. It's not just it. I remember working in a school because I'm a student of the University of Jos. I remember working in a school during the strike, and then the unfairness there is not just it. The principal, or should I say the head teacher, was taking sides with the parents. Do you understand? Because if some things happen in school, the pupils tend to go back home, give their parents their own reviews and other things. Do you understand? And the parents will then come to the school and start asking questions. And then instead of them coming directly to you, the teacher, they go to the headmaster to go and say their own view and what they think really happened between the teacher and the child. Then the headmaster, instead of calling you to the office to ask or inquire what is really happening, he tends to give you query. He tends to in fact, if this person's parents come, I'm going to leave you with him. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So it's just unfair. I feel the labor market really, or the labor constitution, or whatever it is, they need to implement this.
So those regulations, thank you very much, Alfonso. But that's why regulations are important and structures are important. So
I also remember one other time when I just joined. Immediately we joined, there's this specialty that they treat our bosses. So the boss, we're supposed to resume at 8. Boss will now resume by 10. And when she comes, immediately her car comes in, there will be signal like, oh, the boss is around, Then somebody will just stand, my colleague will just get up and go and carry her bag. And I'm like, why are you carrying her bag? She came late. She's supposed to be here by 8. And she's coming by 10. And you see her, she's just walking, and she'll be walking fast. You came late and you're walking fast. Then you will see everybody coming around, okay, dropping this, dropping that on her table. And I'm like,
what's going on here?
Exactly. So after some time, I had to now adjust. Me too. When she just comes, when they just tell us she's around, me too, I'll rush. Everybody was now hurrying to be the one to go and carry back.
Let me let you finish what you're saying earlier.
Yes. So first of all, I was just talking about the fact that in Nigeria, we get away with some things too as workers, and especially government workers. We call you people, I'm calling you people out today. And it's that there's no respect for time. And you barely have, you barely spend the hours you're meant to spend at work, and you still get your full salaries. You guys get paid. Compared to those who work in the private sector, a lot of the injustices I feel workers go through is in the private sector, but those in the government sector somehow tend to get off easy. But I was going to say that, based on what Alfonso says, that that's why it's important to have a system that works, that you have a system that's on ground. You talked about, getting your first job and they hand you a handbook. I wish, many workplaces, especially for first-time workers, that you're handed a handbook so that you're not constantly making mistakes on the job. And the workplace can be quite unforgiving, and they have quite a long memory. A mistake you make maybe in the first week of your result will be held against you forever. And yet nobody thinks this person didn't know not to do this or did not know how to do this. So
I like that.
For me, I prefer that. It's just that allow us to, the Nigerian part, just allow us to
Okay, let me let Bethel come down. You have to jump in because if you don't jump in, let me take Bethel. Bethel, are you there?
Yes, I am. Good
You're
morning.
live. Go ahead, please.
Okay, thank you, Auntie Mariah. Good morning, everyone. I miss you guys. Can we talk about banking in Nigeria and what marketers in banking face? Can we be blunt? Since today is May Workers' Day. Can we
Go ahead, please. It's your view. Let it count.
away.
No, I have a lot to say, but let me run away right now. Thank you. But you guys
You're running away. Do you know what to say to
But I have heard stories. Definitely.
But those stories true though? Are they
like
true?
the marketing thingy?
Yes, that you're given huge
targets.
targets and get it however you get it. So, of course, nobody is allegedly. Nobody would, it never happened to me, I was not a marketer, but allegedly you're meant to get it however you get it. Nobody cares.
Seductively.
Yes, you know, and really, when you find that when you meet young marketers, people who are getting into the banking sector, they don't have the handbook that says, okay, do it like this, have a conversation. In fact, you have younger marketers who come to meet those who have been there. Like, I found myself in a situation. What should I do? What should I do? They'll be like, use your brain. You know, figure it out. There's no, don't go there, or the next time someone will go with you. Or this is how it's meant to be done, and you're protected. But as you know, with stories, with stories like this, you cannot, unless you have proof and evidence, nobody would.
You know, when I was talking earlier, I was remembering that just last week, somebody in government told me to pick up something. So they gave me a number. Called his office, her office actually, to go and pick up. I got to that office at 3:35. I've closed though. Please come tomorrow. I said, I'm coming from Eco Atlantic. I drove all the way from Eco Atlantic. Madam, I've closed. You've closed.
By what time?
Like it's 3:45 p.m.
I know.
Closing work is 4 p.m. Because your boss now. So she kept saying, I said, I can't. I gave all the way. Said I leave the security guard the next day. So I told the next day I told my driver to go pick it up. But the fact that she was telling me coming up, why am I coming at 3:35? She has closed now.
Let me share my own government experience. So I went to a federal university here. And just when I was going to travel, I needed to go get my transcripts and all that. So I drove up to my school, about 4 hours from here. And then, so first of all, I went to the office and they said, oh, the person who processes the transcript is on leave, and it's only one person that has the email. It didn't make sense to me because I'm like,
full office, only one person.
Only one person has access to that email. So I'm like, if this person goes on leave, that means that that function ends, literally, And so we had to, and they were like, let's see what we can just do for you.
But you know what that means.
Like, it now becomes like they're doing you a favor.
Yes, we pay for the job.
So I danced around different offices from VC to here to there. Eventually they found someone. I said, Auntie, you should be thanking God, though. We have found someone that has the email.
So Nigeria is a lovely place.
And this place should be on Netflix.
Let me take this call from Oduayo. Come to you, BC. Oduayo, thanks for calling.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, you're live.
Yeah, this is Oduayo from Ifo. Well, my own contribution on this your topic is that based on my own personal experience in this country, I've not been privileged to work abroad, but from my own perspective now, what I see is that in Nigeria there is so much exploitation and extortion. Understand? They take advantage of the fact that most employers take advantage of the fact that there are no good job, there are not enough job in Nigeria.
Yes.
They use, for example, I study engineering. I work in the factory for like 20 years now. You know that in some factories, they will not even provide you with the basic things that need to be provided. You get the safety boot. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
To get a safety boot for a worker is a problem, and they will expect you to work in places that will endanger you. To get some equipment that will maybe you want to work in a very high place, it's a very big problem. They will not give you all those things, and they will expect you to go and work there. That's why you see a lot of casualties in factories. I'm mentioning factory because I personally have been in factories. Understand? So the situation in Nigeria, you cannot compare it. based on my own view, what I've experienced, what I'm talking about.
Thank you very much, Odwano. Because there's issue of casualization of workers. A full-time worker, they bring in somebody who's part-time, take over your job because you want to pay them cheaper. There's nepotism in Nigeria. These are issues that we have where is who I know, my brother, my sister, we hire. So these are some of the issues that we have. There's somewhat a problem for Nigerian workers here. But let me come to you, Bianchi.
So one of the problems we also have is the fact that the employers don't face consequences. Abroad, you use money, I sue you. I sue the full company, I no send you. But here, no, you cannot. So one, you don't have the resources to do that. Two, they don't have a lot of free lawyers. There you can walk in and they give you, the state will give you somebody to represent you. Here you have to cough out money. Family members say, we don't have time for this. We don't have, they capitalize, like he rightly said, on the fact that a lot of people are at below poverty level and they just want to survive. And they will take anything you give to them just to be able to survive. And so with the way our system is, we are not so productive because we see the time you're supposed to clock in and put the hours in, you use it to play, gist. Growing up in our secondary schools, our teachers would be plucking egusi in the classroom, selling granules, selling wrappers, having gist up and down, instead of paying attention to that work time. They don't give in, and it's in this part of the world where you are supposed to give in your time, but you are using the office resources to do your personal business. I have a sister abroad who is a nurse. She says when she's working, in fact, when I came to visit, I had to make a lot of snacks for her, so she takes to the office, so that she'll be chewing to be able to stand. Once it's her hours, you will not dare sit down till you're done. I have a friend in US as well, who is a classroom teacher, Montessori. And she says, once is that work time? Because I remember her when we were working here. She will leave her class and go and gist from class to class. She was the gister. From class to class to class before she comes to do her work. She said she does not have space. When she's with the children, she will stand till they are done. When they have a break, they take you. If you miss your break, that's it. Right? So we don't give the hours because we need to start revisiting how we pay our workers. We need to start charging by the hour and paying by the hour. That's the only way we can change. Because when you are employed and you have to work a whole day, anything can happen in the midst of the day. Nobody's counting.
That's hourly pay.
It's not if those that are doing it, they're not totally. I'm not sure about that. But let me take 1 second. Let me take Dr. Bountiful.
Sure.
Good morning, Dr. Bountiful.
Good morning. Good morning, ladies of YourView. Happy Workers' Day.
Same to you.
For me, I'll take it from the last speaker. And I will take it from the angle that it's both sides. All stakeholders are at fault for us in Nigeria here.
Yeah, true.
Workers are not well paid. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you very clearly. Go ahead, please.
Workers are not well paid, and the conditions to put in control measures are not in place. So if you don't pay me what is due, then you cannot ask from me what is due. I think that's the body language we get around. I'll speak for my own profession, the social welfare workforce. Here in Nigeria, we have a zero social welfare workforce. For me as a social worker, if I jackpot today, I know how much I'll be earning. Can I earn same here? I've tried to work here and say, okay, let me see if I get a job here. What they will pay me, I'll just tell you, all the money I'll work for free. And by the time you agree to even work for free, you look at the conditions where they are working. I'll give an instance. Abroad, if you are, let's say you're a social worker, you're doing your case management only. If you're a clinical psychologist, you're doing treatment plan and treatment only. But here in Nigeria, you are the one that will do case planning. You are the one that will do case management. You are the one that will do case follow-up. You are the one that will administer. If you are in a private practice like me, you will even be the one to look for your money to give. Now, if I say, okay, I get it, people, yes, it's open. People get government job. Social work should be taken by government agencies. You get a government job, people come there to say, oh, you get money. You look at the teeth you get in the office. I mean, what do I do with a PhD and anyone 40,000 naira? So you're looking forward to what you're going to see in the office. But don't forget, my own practice, people will come needing help. In fact, you need to give them transport. So if people don't get money to steal or project money to go home with, then what happens? They are not motivated. and everything bent on motivation. Yeah. So by the time they ask them to do any intervention or project, they want to look at how they will use less money for intervention, and they can share the rest amongst them. We need to get there as a country. I'm not going to speak for abroad. I'm going to speak for where I belong to. But I'm saying, as a country, all of us should be responsible. I commend the head of service. I commend the directors. I've had to work now as a volunteer in the ministry. I consult in social protection. I see the work that is there. But I can tell you, what things needed to achieve is not available. So a lot has to be done. Give them what they need to do to do the job. And when you give them, hold them accountable on the job. And for us as Nigerians, I'll say, if you go abroad, yes, I'll say I'm limited to clinical, and that's all I do. But here, I keep acquiring skills because I'm in practice. And the problem I'm seeing is not limited. So I am drained. And I have to show up at work. It's 0.1, not up to 1, to 1,000 citizens in Nigeria for mental health cases. So are you not saying that Eli hit ourselves? So on Workers' Day, I'm calling out everybody, both the government, the head of service, and the staff also. Let all of us do what we need to do. Don't say because you are not well paid, you are going on with the sharpener, you are going on with the paper, you are going on with the stapler. It's an insult. You're going on with the laptop and give your children, because your salary cannot afford to buy a laptop. You cannot be like me. But it is reducing our dignity as individuals.
Thank you, Dr. Bounty.
That was profound. I was going to say, I almost want to give her a round of applause. Because she spoke well. Because we can talk about everything at the topical level, but really, what are the deep-seated issues? Like the country, there are things behind this. There are reasons behind, why people are not motivated at work. Why do I want to do my work when I know that?
Is the priority government gives to certain things. And as much as we're pushing government 100%. To prioritize education, healthcare, these are some of the workers is extremely priority. Extremely. And I think Labour is trying to push more for, it's not just about more wages, it's about the tools for work, the equipment, the things, the conditions for work. It's so important. I was watching a video of somebody, I follow him on social media. He was saying that he was a teacher working abroad, and as he was coming in to take over from somebody, they gave him a guideline, a picture of every single child, their class, a summary of their child, what they like, what they don't like, so he can study each child. And then they gave him the laptop, they gave him the every single thing, the work tools were given to him. So when he comes here, they also give him access to the previous teacher, just in case you need any help, you can call. So he was equipped, he didn't feel like he was alone. So here, we come to work and we're totally blind.
Look, even when you're going on vacation, you have to do a handover note.
A proper handover note.
Proper knowledge transfer. There are points of everything.
Here we hold the information. I don't want to know what I know, because I don't want to, so that you feel like you're holding, but you're not.
And can I add something? Can I add something? And most of us, when we go to school, some of them we study. For example, somebody will go and study chemical engineering, and then he will come out. He want to work in a refinery or something because of what he has studied. You now find him in a bank. You now find them working in other places because that's what's available.
Nigerians
and at the end of the day,
it's
the politicians that are doing very well. So at the end of the day, you see them targeting this government work, and government work is not, is not big enough to entertain everybody. And then you, the politicians that will be making money, you have money. You are not even looking into having private business so that you can absorb these people. So we have more of government jobs than private businesses that people can engage and work.
So when the conditions of work is right and you're enjoying what you're doing, some of the resources, even before they give it to you, you will provide it yourself. So I remember in the classroom, there's a quarter where they share the resources we need for our teaching. And because I am enjoying my job and I know that I'm well paid, before we resume, I've already used my money to buy because I want my class to stand out.
But that's not ideal.
No, that's not ideal. I'm just saying. I know. I'm doing it from my own.
But you're abroad, from abroad they'll penalize you for bringing in something from your house. They didn't ask you, these are the tools we've given to you, work without tools.
The way we work here, our tools don't come on time, even though they are presenting the issues. But because the working conditions are right, you would even on your own. We've heard of a story where it's a public school where the lady brought television, we talked about it on the show sometime, brought her own television from home for the class because she wanted to do visual presentation for the children. And the whole school, nobody has television in the class. And she stood out for it because she knew where she was going. I'm just saying, she loved her job enough to want to do the extra. And we're saying if you give us the right conditions, people will do the extra without being asked.
I mean, while we were talking earlier, going back a bit, I had so many stories. I mean, I had the opportunity to work on both ends. And I remember this particular story where...
Don't forget the question, would you rather work there or here?
So okay, we're almost done. So let us think, which would you rather work in Nigeria or abroad?
Abroad.
Let me start with you.
Oh, with me, honestly, I feel like it's almost a no-brainer. I probably would rather work abroad just because there is structure. There's structure, there are laws, there is freedom of speech, there's freedom after speech, you know, but like it's different here. I love our people, I love our culture, but I think the infusion of our culture into the workplace is a little too much. And when we talk about culture, we forget that we have diverse cultures. There are Igbos who don't necessarily want to kneel down. My mom is Efik, my dad is Yoruba. So I have those two sides of me, and I understand that when I'm on the Yoruba side, I have to almost lie down on the floor, and I'm fine with it. When I'm on the Efik side, I can call people first names. So we also have to understand that even within our culture, there is diversity. To what extent are we also trying to embrace that diversity? You know, it's a little blindsided, and that's something that I don't appreciate. And so, yeah,
so
definitely.
For me, I work best with proper structure.
Exactly.
So maybe
working
abroad would have worked for me, you know. And I hear you about diversity. We have a culture, but also in Nigeria, as you said, we have diverse culture. And because we have diverse culture, you have people still trying to figure out what culture works, you know, where they are. And that's why a workplace has to have its culture, and it has to be written down or provided for you so that you understand the culture in where you're working. But in Nigerian workplace, we tend to work blindly and also get punished for doing what you didn't, you know, for making a mistake that you were not even aware that you have made.
You see?
It's a no-brainer. When there's a proper structure, even if you're creative, you shine. Because nothing is stopping you, nothing is inhibiting you. And for the soft skills, when you get into a place, each organization there, because of the way they have planned themselves, they have their organizational structure, which you now have to learn when you come in. And that's why they give you the handbook. You study and align. If they need your special talent, they will be written there that they'll give you that opportunity. If they want you to work as a robot, don't bring your own idea. You already have it spelled out for you. So you work in. So working there would be better because of the fact that you would, when you put in the work, you will see the results. You would be appreciated. I had a friend who was working here for a very long time. He was struggling to survive. Immediately he left. Under 3 months, he got 3 awards. He sent it to me. He said, these people value your input. They see talent and they go with it. So,
you know?
Yeah, me, of course, definitely, I'll go with them structure.
She say you'll go with us.
Because I don't want to be carrying somebody's bag. I don't want to run and go and be carrying somebody's bag.
Go and buy somebody's food.
Or be doing eye service, and when the person comes, I will now start doing as if I'm working. When the person leaves, I will now relax. I want it organized, me be myself, everybody, we're all the same, we're all equal. There's nobody, because you are the boss does not mean you are better than me or you know, you are above me.
I understand the pros and the cons. I get that, Ramatu, and I get that, and I hear all of you, but I would rather work in Nigeria. Like me, for me, because abroad, I see the structure and I can understand it. It's fine. But I love the diversity here. I love the fact that in Nigeria, I love the flexibility. I love the fact that you go to work. I didn't debate your own. I listened to you. Because you Nigerians like to debate Nigerians. And we are saying our own people always argue with as if we are from the lower end. No, we're not. As a Nigerian, I like the fact that I come to work and nobody's on my case on, okay, what time did she clock in? What time did she clock out? I like the flexibility that if I need to travel, I can talk to my boss. I can say, I'm not feeling too well. And I'm really not feeling too well. And I can go. Abroad, I can be scared to that because you know that you already counted, I only have 5 days in this year. I only have 5 days for sick leave. So if you are going to have that headache, carry your headache to the office because you only have 2 days left. Here, I can call my boss and say, please, I'm really begging. My daughter is not feeling too well. I need a few more days. And she would understand. There are people who leave work for months because of medical issues, and the company understands. Here, abroad, it's very difficult to do that.
I disagree.
So I love the flexibility Nigerian environment allows you. As a government worker, I know that, okay, 4 p.m., I'm closed. I know that yes, I can do some side gigs. Abroad, you might not be able to do a lot of side gigs. And now that there's computer age or there's no technology.
I don't
have to disagree. We are not debating. Everybody has their own views.
I want to ask you.
And so I like the flexibility that here you can do 2-3 jobs in different ways. Abroad, usually when you're doing a one job, you're focusing on your job.
But Mariah, I just wanted to ask, you know, I'm hearing you and it makes sense for me that I've lived here all my life, you know, and I'm used to the bad behavior. But for my child that I'm spending so much in their school and everything, what would I like? Where would I like for my child to work? Even eventually, maybe after many years, they decide, okay, I would rather be where they choose. I would like them to start off in a place so this is not geographically now, but in a place where there's structure, wherever
100%.
it is, that foundation, so that they understand that it's important to be at work at a certain time, when to close, the hours I need to give, and while I'm there, make sure I'm giving what I'm expected, and when I do well, I am rewarded for it. So I would like that. When I think about it through what I would want for my child, I'll prefer structure.
And I'd also like to say, so Mara made some very strong, valid points. But I'll tell you that abroad, you can also work multiple jobs. There are people who do multiple things. So like I do cybersecurity, but I also do photography. And I promise you, I was doing neither of these things when I was here in Nigeria. So it's as if when I went abroad, those talents became fertilized and they came out.
You can call your boss. I have a friend.
You can also,
you can also say, I can't make it to work.
Me, I would rather, thank God I am the host of this show. Nigeria is the best place to work. All these guys speaking English.
You would know because
I mean, I used I got queried for cursing in the US. I got a serious query. And I was but then when they were having the conversation, they said I used the word piss off. And Nigeria, I can say piss off and nobody's going to arrest me for saying piss off.
No, in Nigeria, I cannot say piss off.
Piss off is a curse word, but we don't usually use it. We know the F as a curse word.
But we have Nigeria.
Exactly.
If you say it,
we have to go. The director is already closing. Bye.
Bye. In Nigeria, we have Nigeria.